quick disclaimer. My dog is in here with us today because he has a hurt leg and I feel bad for him. So you might hear him, who knows, cough, grunt, bark,
fart,
sneeze.
He himself.
Yeah, so, but that's just the way it goes because he's hurt and he's a baby.
Or I might pee myself and blame it on him.
Pee yourself?
What? Who said that? That's so weird.
Welcome back, everybody, to Below Dexperts. We are deep into this Down Under season. We are covering episodes 12 and 13 today. I don't know how many episodes total there are.
No, they didn't tell us. They never tell us anything.
Never tell us anything. I'm going to guess like we're more than halfway through the season. So that's our good update. We're very clear on this show. And yeah, episodes 12 and 13.
Yeah.
You ready to get going?
Let's get into it.
All right, I have my question for you.
All right, I'll let you go first because I have mine written down.
Okay. Who's Luca going to hook up with?
Oh, I'm ready for this one. 110% gonna be Jamie.
Oh my God. Okay, I can't say anything about it.
Oh, man. I love that we do this, but I hate it.
I know.
Because it's like I want to talk about it right now, but we can't.
All right, go ahead.
What? So I have it written differently. Well, I guess you can't expand upon it. So I guess I'll ask it this way.
Okay.
Do you think one of the producers or someone behind the scenes hid Culver's NutriBullet thing that he was freaking out about?
I don't remember him freaking out about it.
It was when he was freaking out about his smoothie. He couldn't find the top of it. And Sheffy had to save him, put it in the big blender, and then...
No, I just think he's an idiot.
Yeah, that's a possible answer to it.
It's fair.
Do you want to hear my other question that
Sure,
I had?
go ahead.
Okay. Do you think Captain Jason would have put on the Budgies? Is that how you say it, Budgies?
Budgies, yeah.
If it wasn't Aisha asking him for it?
No, I think Aisha
Yeah,
was the reason.
I have no opinion at this time because this is what we do at the beginning of the episode. Hello. Hi, everybody. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting this new thing where we have like 3 main talking points for each episode. I feel like this will make us a little bit more organized. Do you feel like that?
I've been organized from day one.
Okay, notes update. Lane's back to the iPad.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
Neither do I.
Okay, all right. Yep, he was like, yeah, I should have sent them to you, but I didn't.
But I didn't.
End of story.
Yeah, that was about it.
All right. Here we go. Okay, so I think I'm going to introduce the main talking points for episode 12 before we get into it. Does that sound like a good idea?
Sure.
All right. I have number 1, which deckhand is going to go, Adam or Culver, and then also going on with that, the dynamic between Joao and Culver. Mm-hmm. That was a big thing in episode 12.
Yeah.
The Culver and Jamie med situation is another thing that's addressed in episode 12.
Yeah.
And then the Budgies.
Yeah.
That's basically it. I have a few notes that don't like fit into those categories, but those pretty much cover it. So let's start off with the first one. Let's talk about Adam making the mistake and then what ensues from there.
Adam, my boy.
I know. I knew you were going to be so sad.
So sad. I almost didn't want to rewatch both the episodes because I was like, I can't relive this.
You know what? I didn't even text you Monday night because I was like, I don't want to ruin his night.
I know. And then I started watching the episode on Tuesday. I'm like, this is why she didn't say anything.
Yep.
I'm going to be sad. And I am sad. Okay. He messed up one thing. It could have sunk the boat, sure.
It could have killed somebody,
It could have
sure.
killed people. He could have died. They could have got sued. But he was a cool guy, all right. No, I get it. I understand it. But
I know. And
he messed up pretty bad.
And that wasn't the first thing either.
No.
So I would be, I guess, one thing if that was like the only mistake, but it was like the third mistake he had made.
Yeah.
And it was really hard. Everybody was sad to see him go, even Captain.
Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, he handled it like an absolute champ. Like every time that Joao was like, hey, you messed this up, this is how you do it. He's like, I got it now. We're good.
Yeah.
And every time he talked to Captain Jason, he just straight up was like, it was my fault. I thought this was what I was supposed to be doing. It wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. I know that now.
I know.
I'm sorry. And you don't get that on Below Deck.
No, I know. And I just keep thinking like there had to reach a point where you were like, I totally get that you're sorry. I totally get that you're great. You have a great personality, but what is it going to be next time?
Yeah, that is very true, because if you just keep letting him do it, it's gonna turn into something huge, and then at the end of the day, oh, he was a good guy, but he killed 3 people.
I know. I know. So, yeah, I said Captain's furious. You can tell, but he doesn't show it. He's like very good at kind of keeping his cool. He calls Joao in. Joao really likes Adam and he keeps standing up for him, doesn't want him to go. He'd rather see Culver go. But I have later in my notes that like you can tell Captain's not going to get rid of Culver.
No. Even though you want him to.
Yeah, I mean, the truth of it is that Culver is good enough to keep. He hasn't done anything that's a fireable offense, even though Joao would fire him.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that later, but basically that's what happens with that. The charter goes on. What do you have next?
I have a lot of notes on Adam, so you might as well take like this is like
I love it. All it says is I heart Adam.
okay. Don't need to out me like that.
No, do you have anything else you want to say about that? Because I mean, we'll keep talking about it, but I was just going to kind of move on in the episode.
No, I kind of captured everything. I had a couple beers when I was writing down my notes, so I was a little furious.
There's tears on the iPad.
Why you gotta tell him? Why you gotta tell him that? All right.
No, the one thing I have in my notes that like
doesn't Adam. What?
doesn't fit into these categories is that we don't really talk about Joao and Zarina in these 2 episodes. Nothing really happens with them in these 2 episodes. But I do have that he makes a comment like that he wants to know where she stands. And like they haven't talked about where they stand with each other, but they talked to like the camera about it.
Yeah.
And that's basically all that happens. I mean, I might have another note like episode 13, but like nothing really happens with them these episodes, but I feel like next week there will be.
Yeah, next week is big for those 2.
I hope so. But I guess I don't know.
Actually, yeah, one huge point that I wanted to make about the whole Adam situation. So
we got to go back to Adam. You're not over it.
I'm not over it yet, and I don't know if I ever will be. And you're gonna like this actually, but I'm kind of on Team Joao now because he went to bat for Adam.
Yes.
And he hates Culver, and now I don't like Culver, and I'm not a big fan of him.
Yep. Yeah, I think Joao really connected with Adam on like the family stuff, but I think Joao also sees himself in Adam. Like it's possible Joao made some of like the same mistakes when he was Adam.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's severe. I think that whole anchor thing is taken seriously no matter what. And even Joao said like 90% of the time you get fired for that. Like you cannot make that mistake. So even Joao like understood. But yeah, I think he sees himself in Adam and he wants Adam to succeed because he's so family oriented.
Yeah. And I think if there wasn't someone ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Captain would have probably searched for someone until he found someone because he seemed very like he did that or Adam did that. We need him off the boat.
Yeah.
And I had another point, but I lost it because I'm just so sad.
I almost find it peculiar that he had this lead deckhand like very quickly. And we won't get into who it is yet because that's episode 13, I think. But like that's the next episode. But I don't know. The fact that this new lead deckhand knows Aisha, I don't know if that's just coincidence or not.
I have some opinions about it,
Okay.
and they're mostly because I was so sad that Adam left. So
So you're just going to be cynical this whole episode.
no, I have some good. We'll get there.
Okay.
I won't yell too much.
Okay. The next thing I have is, Culver doing his own thing, making a smoothie. It really seemed apparent that the producers or the show itself wanted to set the stage that he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I got the feeling, I'm like 50-50 on it, of like, is he not doing what he's supposed to doing, or are they just showing us what they want to show us, like him making a smoothie and it's not that big of a deal? I don't know. I'm not a huge Culver fan, but I also want to give him the I don't know if benefit of the doubt is the right way to say it, but I also know editing plays a part.
Oh, yeah, because they can do so much. Because you can strip the audio from the video.
Right.
Culver could have been sprinting up to where he was supposed to be, but they show him in the kitchen, and Joao's like, Culver, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm heading up. But they show Culver like trying to make a smoothie. You just don't really know.
Right. So I'm like, I'm not going to like completely believe that because it could be editing, but I'm not the biggest Culver fan anyways.
Well, we decided he's a robot.
He is, yeah. He is.
Everything he says is just robotic.
It really is. It doesn't make any sense. Like last week we talked about the whole like horses or the mares in the ring.
Yeah.
He had something else like that.
It's the I always say save the drama for your mama, and that's what I do.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's like, where did you get that? Like, that's not even like Chat GPT wouldn't even write that.
I know. He also says something else about so that kind of leads us into the next thought I had. I think that Culver is used to not having strict bosses, and Joao is a strict boss, and that's all it is. So I think that he thinks he has initiative, but it's just because that's been okay up until this point. Like, what did I write? I think he just doesn't have initiative. He just kind of does what he needs to do, and that's it. And I know those kind of people, and they're not terrible workers, but they'll never be a lead deckhand. They'll never be a bosun. They'll never be a captain.
Yeah.
Because they're not going above and beyond. That example, and I might be jumping ahead, I don't remember what it is, but when Joao goes and tells him, like, hey, will you go shut the lights off in the tender? And that's all he does. He doesn't, wipe it down. He doesn't clear out the garbage. That's exactly what I'm talking about with, like...
Initiative.
Like, yeah, you did what you were asked, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But again, you're never going to be an all-star. You're never going to move up. You're just always going to be that. You're just always going to be a deckhand that just does what he's told.
Yeah, and it was, I think it was the batteries on the tender.
Oh, yeah.
But I completely agree with what you said. Like, when you're asked to do A, but it's implied that you should do B, C, and D.
Right.
Do it, and then everyone will like you, or, you did it. Good job.
Right.
Go back later and do that.
Yeah, and I think that's like the disconnect where it's like Joao sees that and he's like, why wouldn't you just do it? And then Culver sees it like, why would I? You didn't ask me to.
Yeah.
It's literally just a miscommunication, again, because I don't think anybody's held him to that standard before. Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is Culver was on nights that night. They don't take the tender out at night unless there's an emergency, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. So he would have had time.
Yes, I get that too.
I get that, but at the same time, if it takes, 10 minutes to clear out the tender, and all you have to go back to is your chicken and rice that you're so obsessed with. Yeah. Like, you should probably clean up the tender and then go eat your food.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can see what Culver means there, but I can also, and you also like have to read the room of like Joao's kind of like watching you like a hawk.
Yeah.
So maybe you wouldn't normally do that, and maybe you wouldn't even have to normally do that, but he's on your back, so just do it so that he has nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel about just, again, they just have really different perspectives on work ethic.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I want you to clarify if you know what happened about Culver having a tantrum about a direct order from the captain. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
What was he mad about?
So I think that was, if I remember correctly, it was when he was freaking out about he couldn't find the top of his smoothie blender thing.
Okay.
And that was when the guests went up to the bridge and they wanted to have a drink in the little area in front of the bridge. And Captain said, "Can someone come up and wipe it down?" Culver's looking for his smoothie thing. And he keeps calling over the radio. Sheffy helps him. He gets his smoothie, and then he goes up, and he's like, I'm going, jeez.
Oh.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah. If we're wrong, you can correct us in the comments, because I wasn't really paying close attention to that part. I just know that Joao jumped on that real quick.
Yeah.
And again, like, everybody's kind of allowed to have frustrations. Nobody's like cheery and awesome 100% of the time. But read the room. Joao is watching you. He doesn't like you right now. He's watching you and wanting to pick out these things. So it's just not a smart move to do. So that's just kind of, I don't know. I would read the room better if I were Culver, but he's just, I know we love to pick on him, but I just really get the vibe of a kid, or I don't want to call him a kid, a guy that's never been asked to go above and beyond. Everything's just kind of been handed to him.
Yeah.
It really seems like that. Like, again, lives with his parents and off season and does what he wants, and just that's kind of bleeding through to the work now, I think.
Yeah, and I think I quoted this correctly, but Joao says in like a producer interview, I saw this little boy having a tantrum and it was infuriating. It's like at the time you'd be like, oh my God, dude, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But like you're blowing off steam at work. And like you said, he should have, say nothing around Joao.
Right.
Straight and narrow, bitch and moan when you go up the next flight of stairs when no one can hear you.
Right.
But,
Yeah, you can't be perfect. I get that. I'm not acting like I'm asking him to be perfect. I get that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically where that stands in this episode. You want to move on to, this isn't really a huge thing. I literally just have one thing written on this for this episode, but the Culver Jamie med situation.
Yeah.
So you want to explain what happened there?
So Culver gets a text from one of his old captains, and it's about the next, I don't know, season or after this season. I don't fully understand what a season is, and I can hear the cat outside as well.
I know. I really hope you guys can't hear my stupid cat outside the door right now.
But yeah, he gets a text from one of the captains he's worked with in the past, and he's basically like, yeah, once I get done with this boat, I'll go over. I don't know where Med is from Australia. I'm assuming Australia is down, so probably up.
Europe is the med.
That was a joke.
Yeah. Did you guys like that joke?
You like that joke?
It's a comedy podcast.
Yeah, we took 2 hours to write that one. And he's basically like, oh, yeah, Jamie, I think you should come up with me. They need a stew. Mm-hmm. And he asks her, and she kind of reacts in a weird way.
Yeah, she was like really caught off guard, which I can understand, because then later when she tells Margo's like, whoa, you've literally known each other for a week.
But they knew each other for like less than 2 days, and then...
Right.
Yeah.
I think my thoughts on this are, and I might have written it down next episode, but whatever, I'll just say it now. Culver likes Jamie more than Jamie likes him. Mm-hmm. She keeps using the word boatmance.
Yeah.
He wants to call her his girlfriend.
Yeah, and there's even like a little interview like edit that they do where he's like, no, I don't think it's a boatman's. I think it could be something.
Oh, no.
And then the next one, the producer's like, Jamie, what would you call your relationship? She's like, boatman's.
Yeah.
Boatman's. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, Culver.
And that's why...
You dumb boy.
Well, we'll get to this later, I think. But I was going to say that's why your thoughts are about her and Luca.
Yeah. Yeah,
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
And then the last thing for this episode, again, this episode like didn't have a ton of crazy stuff in it.
No.
Was the Budgies, which was the best part of the episode.
For you, yeah.
I I said the budgie request, Aisha begging Captain. Everyone wants to see Captain McHottie's package.
The best edit I've seen this season of this show is she's like, Captain, what if Sheffy makes you like a whole plate of eggs, and then they switch to Sheffy, and she's like, like just trying to make eggs in a huge bowl.
Yes, and that was so funny. I love Aisha and his relationship. So, and then it goes to the next morning, and Harry, I think, gave him some budgies, and I actually like laughed out loud too. So Harry brings them up to the captain, and he gives them to him, and he goes, "I don't know, Harry."
Yeah, it was so genuine.
It was.
I don't know, Harry.
I don't know, Harry. And Harry's so sweet too. Like Harry is like probably barely talked to the captain.
Yeah.
Like he's very like unproblematic. And he's like, I'm just doing my job. I don't know.
He's like, someone else asked me to bring these up here.
Yes.
But I'm a huge fan of these.
But he does it.
He does.
And Captain Jason looks the best out of anybody. I don't know what he's talking about. What?
No, I meant to ask this. Oh, I did write it down. Good job, Lane. Okay, I want to ask you this. Why is Captain Jason hotter than all of the other guys on the boat? Because all of the deck crew, they're like shredded, they're good looking. Why is Captain Jason?
Is this a genuine question for me?
Yeah.
Oh, like you actually don't know why he's hotter. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know that you'll understand unless you're like a straight female or a gay man.
Yeah, I was going to say attracted to men, but same thing.
Yeah, that's true, because I guess there could be more than that if you wouldn't understand unless you're attracted to men. I think because the maturity, his personality, I think, and he's hot. And so, yeah, like objectively looking at all of the guys or the men on this season, if I didn't know any of their personalities, I would still pick Captain Jason, I think. I don't know why. Again, in the comments, back me up here, guys. Like, what is it? Because to me, it's just like his looks and his personality. But I guess if you took personality, I'd probably still pick him first, and then probably Adam second. And then probably Harry third. Okay, here are my rankings objectively, just by looks. Captain Jason, Adam, Harry. I'm really not attracted to Joao or Culver. I guess Culver then Joao.
Really?
If I had to choose, if I didn't know their personalities. Personality-wise, I would just switch Joao and Culver probably. Yeah. I don't know. I can't explain it. I guess that was the best way I could explain it.
Yeah, I was really hoping you would have like a solid answer for it.
I don't.
I get it. They play it up for the show, but like when he walks into the kitchen and has the budgies on, Chef literally like screams.
Yes.
Uncontrollably.
Okay, so this has been like this was like an old TikTok thing, but the dad bod thing.
Yeah.
Men think what women want is like 0% body fat, like completely shredded.
Like Culver.
Yes. But that's what men want. That's what, like, I'm not saying that that's what men want in men. Maybe it is. I wouldn't know. But like, that's what men think we want. When really we don't need that. We want you to be fit, but there's more to it than that. And I guess for me personally, I've always been more attracted to like the actual person than anything. I'm definitely attracted to certain guys, but I think that's the best answer, is that women do not, or people attracted to men generally do not put like body as number one. Whereas I think men do that more often, or people attracted to females do that more often.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't deny that.
So that's maybe a better answer. I don't know.
Yeah, he is pretty cool, calm and collected, confident.
Yeah. Yeah. Confidence, respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what matters more.
Interesting.
So yeah, it ends up happening. It's funny. And that's basically it for episode 12. Unless you have anything else, but again, it wasn't like a super crazy episode.
Yeah, I just have notes about like what I was feeling in the moment, like all caps. Oh fuck, he fires someone. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
But that's the preview for episode 13, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sad yet, but
Okay, so here's our main talking points for episode 13. If you don't already know, Adam gets let go.
bullshit.
More drama between Joao and Culver because it doesn't stop. Margo getting to be second stew for a charter is the other one I have. And then the new lead deckhand, Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that basically covers it. So, what do we got first? Kind of back to the Joao, Culver, Adam situation. I think Joao and Captain are talking again, and he's really hearing Joao out about Culver. He even says at one point he had the same issues last year with Culver, which I didn't pick up on that the first time I watched it, but I was like, okay, finally Captain's giving Joao something. Because for a while I was like, I don't think Captain feels this way about Culver at all. Like, I think he's literally just letting Joao talk, but he doesn't agree.
Yeah.
But he wants Adam gone because of the safety issue. He thinks Joao can manage Culver better. Which I don't disagree. Again, I think if I had to choose between someone getting fired, it would have to be Adam. But
How dare you?
we talked about this. Like, we don't have to redo it. But I think overall, Captain doesn't want to get rid of Culver, sees the issues, sees that it is an issue, and wants Joao to manage him better.
Yeah. And after watching the episode again, I was like, okay, that was a very, very good move as the leader of the ship.
Yeah.
As the captain of the ship. You are taking the leader that you want to develop, and you're going to make him put up with this problem that isn't going to get anyone killed or injured, as far as you know. He's just not wiping things down.
Right.
So you're going to make them figure that out and make them both better people.
Right.
And at first I was like, yeah, fuck you, Captain Jason. All right, call Adam back, get Culver off the boat. But I was irrational.
I know.
I'm not as good of a leader as Captain Jason.
You acted on emotion.
I did. You should see the hole in my wall. I'm kidding. I'm not a Kyle.
A Chad.
Chad Kyle.
I feel like Chad is like the ultimate
Yeah.
douchey name. Sorry if there's a Chad out there. I just always think of, and this is such a niche thing because it was an old Bachelorette. I think it was JoJo's season. You wouldn't know. You don't watch The
No idea
Bachelorette.
what you're talking about.
But Chad was on JoJo's season of The Bachelorette, and he was like the ultimate Chad, just like the worst guy. So that's what I always think of when I say Chad.
I always think of like, yeah, the big trucker hat backwards, like barely touching their head, and sunglasses that are bigger than their cheeks.
And they're white
Yeah.
sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
The Affliction t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tap out.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm showing my age with that. I don't know if people
A
wear
little
those
bit.
anymore.
A little bit. But I remember it too, so don't feel too bad.
Oh, so yeah. So Adam gets let go. It's heartbreaking because everybody really loved him. He takes responsibility. Everybody's so sad. Harry's sad. And yeah, so he handles it so well. Leaves the boat. He's going to go work on commercial ships. He's going to be fine.
Is he?
Yeah, I really do think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he'll be
and
fine.
he's got a lot of friends. And he even said, he's like, I'm going to go work on commercial ships, become a captain, and then come back to yachting because, like, look at what we get to do. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, he's so sweet. All right, we can
Yeah.
stop talking about Adam if it's too hard for you.
Okay. Do we have to? All right, we can move on, I guess.
All right, last two things about Culver, because I think we don't go back to the whole issues with Joao and Culver. Like, he literally just doesn't think he's doing anything wrong. And then when Captain brings him in, I feel like he knew exactly what to say. Like,
Yeah.
he was like, I just want to make you proud, Captain. What? Like, just, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That was weird.
He's just like, yeah, I'm just trying to find my pace with this. It's like, it's charter what?
7, I
6
think.
and 7.
Yeah, and
You gotta
not
have
to
your shit
mention,
together.
yeah, he was on season 1.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I guess again, that's why I go back like, okay, there were no issues with him last season, but I think last season was overrun with the Jamie issues. That if you didn't watch season 1, Jamie was the bosun,
Yeah.
not the Jamie of this season. Jamie just was not a good bosun, and so I think that was overshadowed. Like maybe Culver was still having these issues. And again, I go back to if he doesn't know he's doing anything wrong, he is not an overachiever. So we're just going to try to make him into an overachiever, but he does seem to be fighting that a little bit because I just don't think he is an overachiever.
He is very, very good for below deck, not that good for the boat.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. So.
The washboard abs, just nothing going on between the ears.
Right. So yeah, so that's basically it. We'll leave that whole situation behind. Aisha got the helmet because of Captain having to wear the budgies. She's like, gladly.
Yeah. She's like, I do it again.
And I do it again. And then moving on to our second point, Aisha wants Margo to be on service for the next charter. Jamie kind of made a comment that I don't know, she seemed like, okay, yeah, I like Margo, so I'll give it to her for this charter, but I don't want to be in laundry, basically. I don't want to be demoted. Did you catch that?
She goes back and forth. She's like, I love laundry. I find zen in laundry, but this is only happening for one charter.
Yes.
It's like, okay, we get it. You got 2 stripes on your shoulder. Calm
I
down.
know. I didn't know either. I was like, is she joking? I think she's half joking.
Yeah. It kind of felt like the producers were kind of like leading her to that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, you know what? I'm second stew. Fuck it. And it's like, just give her a chance. It's a bunch of old guys.
I know.
Like,
They're going to be fine.
they're going to be fine.
And Margo, I really do think she's just hard on herself. Like, we'll see.
She is very hard on herself.
Yeah, we'll basically see through the rest of this charter that she does really well. And the guests even play spin the wheel for cocktails.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting, if you ask me.
Oh my God, I would never do that.
I was literally sitting on the couch and I'm like, could you imagine drinking an espresso martini and then a margarita?
And then a whiskey sour. And then a kamikaze. Like, yeah, when I was 20.
Oh my God.
Sure. And then I'd puke and get ready for my 8 a.m.
Right.
But I'm 26 now. I can't handle that.
And those guys are like in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah, and we see what happens.
Oh God. Oh God. But seriously, I was like, I couldn't imagine anything more disgusting than drinking an espresso martini and then a margarita.
It should have been like, let's have a whiskey night. Let's name 10 whiskeys and then spin the wheel.
Or
just something similar to that.
Or drinks made with the same liquor.
Yeah, just the same liquor.
Because what was the other one? I was like, oh, a Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
Nobody drinks those for fun.
No.
So going from a Long Island iced tea to, again, like to a margarita, like something that's so heavy than something that's so sweet, I couldn't do it. But she does really well. And Aisha's like, this is literally the perfect training tool. Yeah. It really is.
She's like, it sucks for her right now, but it's going to make or break her.
Yeah. And she did great. So, what's next?
We kind of skipped over the night out. There wasn't much going on. Culver was just pouting.
Yep.
I have written down Culver's pouting for some reason, but I don't care because he's dead to me because Adam's gone. I will move on. All right, I will move on.
Oh, I put that the place they went, those drinks looked amazing.
Yeah, they kind of did.
It's my favorite kind of place. Like I talk about this all the time because I'm such a as I get older, I've become like more snobby with drinks. Mm-hmm. I love places that make like cool drinks. I'll pay $10. I'll pay $15 for it. I don't care. But those drinks just looked really cool. So I want them.
Yeah. What was it? Passion fruit?
It was like, dragon fruit syrup or something. Yeah. I also put that I feel like Harry is okay with being friends with Margo, and he's drawn that boundary because I feel like Margo is bad at that. And I really liked that Harry was like, yep, we're just friends. I'm cool with that. Because Margo still cannot like fully draw that line, I feel like. She's like, oh, you ignored me. I love you. And she says stuff like that. And Harry could be misinterpreting that, but he's not. And I'm happy about that.
I'm glad you brought that up. I wanted to talk about that, but I didn't have it highlighted. Getting better with my notes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Harry is killing it with that. Like,
I know.
He's not being rude to her. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, hey, hi, hey, Hair Bear.
Yep.
He's like, hello.
Exactly. And it's
Perfect
not rude.
response. Not
Again,
rude.
he wants to be her friend, but he knows it's not going to be more than that. So he's like holding that strict boundary with himself, which is very impressive.
And he's not even in the producer interviews like, yeah, you know,
Yep.
I'm going to play the friend for a while and then get back in there. He's like, well, if she wants to be my friend, I'll be her friend.
And there's a lot of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Margo is like, okay, I don't like it. He's not chasing me.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but there's no one chasing me right now.
I feel like 50-50 on that. I feel like she like doesn't outright want him to chase her, but she does like attention.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, she even says it.
yeah. So I don't know if you guys just heard my dog snore. He was kicking his little feet earlier. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to say she's mad that he's not giving her attention, because I don't think she is. I think she's just, I don't know.
Yeah, she says, like, I don't want to be needy and annoying, but I am. And, like, when they're hugging, it's like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But, and then the one part that was kind of funny to me was Aisha calls over to the radio to Harry during the last Charter's dinner. She's like, Harry, get stretched out and ready. They want to have a threesome with you. And then you see a clip of Margo in laundry, like, must be nice, have fun without me. It's like, Margo, fuck off.
I know. And again, I'm like half and half on that. Like, I don't think she's really mad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I think it might have just been a comment that you make.
Yeah, it's the type of thing when you can't listen to music, you're just doing laundry. Like,
right.
You're going to respond and talk to anything just to, you know,
do something.
Couldn't think of it.
But then Aisha cracked me up. She's like, Harry would not know what to do, which is very accurate.
So true.
So funny. But I really like Harry, so I was like happy that Charter thought he was so cute.
Yeah.
Like, Harry deserves that.
He's had a rough one so far. Good job, Harry.
He does. And then the last thing I have from the night out was, well, actually, oh, wait, no, that's later. I was going to say, Jamie eventually does agree to do the med season. That wasn't on the night out. That was later, but I guess we could say it now. But I still get the feeling that she's just like, well, we'll just bring one boatman to the next boat. Like, she's not really thinking farther than the boat.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. I mean, I hope it works out for them. I'm not rooting against them, but I just don't think that Jamie sees it the same way that Culver does.
Yeah, they don't. There's no way.
Yeah, totally.
It reminds me of Culver and why can I never remember her name? Last season, Brittini.
Yeah, they did do that van thing after the season.
Yeah,
remember? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but then we're never gonna hear anything because they don't do after season.
I know they do a reunion, but I'll say it right now. I am not a fan of the reunion. We'll cover the reunion, but I'm not going to like it. I'm going to be honest. I think that the reunions give us the most dramatic parts in the preview, and then that's it. And then everything else is kind of boring.
Yeah, they are. I've never finished one.
I know.
Because in the preview, they're all just yelling at each other.
And that's the only time that it's dramatic or entertaining.
Yeah, and it's like 5 minutes of it, and the rest of it's like, so how'd you like the boat? It was all right.
Right, exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
Guess we're good.
I don't know. Okay, this is really the last thing from the night out. But when Joao goes in to cuddle with Zarina, she's like giving her interview, and she's like, I have the angel being like, and the devil being like, and then there's the vagina puppet. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, Sheffy, calm down.
I just thought that was funny, so I had to bring that up.
It
But that
was
was
pretty
basically it. Nothing happened. They just cuddled for a little bit. And then the last thing is the new lead deckhand comes in.
Fuck him.
You don't like him?
No, because he replaced Adam.
Okay, put that aside. What do you think about
Fine.
him?
I think he's fucking gorgeous.
He is gorgeous.
Holy shit.
And I don't want to be this person, but I think he's pretty short.
Oh, I knew there was a flaw.
Yeah.
They don't show how tall he is.
Well, if you see him hug Harry, which I know Harry's tall,
I think Harry's
but it's
taller than me.
but it's like hugging a baby. Like
I knew there was a flaw because I'm like, this dude is gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's cool and he knows what he's doing. What's the flaw?
yeah.
Forgot about height.
And I'm not saying that I'm not even calling that a flaw. I'm just saying I'm really tall. So that would be something that would be like a thing for me, but that wouldn't be a thing for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I guess it's not a flaw, but
yeah.
it made me feel better.
Yeah, he comes in. Yeah, Margo calls him like a beauty queen. Aisha knows him. She likes him. I trust Aisha, so I think he's going to be good. He banged Aisha's sister and Magda.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that is Magda.
Yeah. I was like, bruh, you're doing something right.
After everything with her stupid boyfriend last season.
Yeah.
I can't. Who knows? It might have been before last season
I
or
don't
whatever.
know. Sometime in the last 7 years.
He's been an engineer for like the past 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah, he said 2 years a deckhand, 5 years an engineer.
Yeah.
He's way too pretty to be an engineer. There's no way.
No, Colin's an engineer. He's pretty.
Nah.
You don't think Colin's pretty?
No.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't call
mean-
him pretty. I think he's attractive.
Yeah, he's not a pretty boy.
Yeah. Harry loves Luca, but I forget why. Why does he love him?
Oh, because he wears the
Budgies.
The budgies.
Yes, that's what it was. I put
Yeah.
Harry loves him, LOL, but I forgot to write down why.
Yeah, total just betrayal by Harry there. Just Adam, his bed's still warm. Now you're bonding with this new loser. Oh, he's just 2 hours away from the boat. You don't have anything better to do. Asshole.
We'll see. We'll see. We might not like him. We might. He might grow on you. He might not.
No, there's no way. He's the amateur version of Ryan Reynolds.
No, he's James Franco's brother.
He literally looks like a Franco. He looks like the
what's
best
his
looking
name?
Franco.
What's his name?
James Franco.
No, James Franco's the older brother. What's the younger brother Franco's name? Shoot, I should know this. I don't know.
Dale.
No. It's going to bother me, but
Dale
like once I
Jr.?
look at it, I'm going to be like, oh, but he really does look like James Franco's younger brother. So Charter 7 starts. Seems to be going well. Margo's doing the drinks. And then the guest collapses, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thing is, I think he's having a seizure.
So I think he's either having a seizure or something related to that, or he's allergic to something in the drinks or the food.
See, I don't think that would happen if you were just allergic. If you were allergic, you'd start getting hives and have like anaphylactic, like couldn't breathe. But he either looked like he was choking or seizing. But then when they
Yeah.
got him on his side, it more looked like he was seizing. Because his
Yeah.
eyes were closed. If he was choking, his eyes would be open wide, you know?
True.
So I think it's, again, I don't want to down, very serious medical emergency. They're calling for a doctor or whatever. I think my guess is that it was a seizure and that he has like some sort of seizure disorder.
Yeah.
That it's like not super uncommon. Like, of course, nobody wants to have a seizure, but I think that's what happens.
Yeah, and the one guy really reacted quick,
Yes,
so it does
yeah.
seem like it's happened before.
Right. Like I don't want to say they were ready for it, but like it's happened. Yeah.
I didn't like that the whole episode, when they would just do these like B-roll shots with looking at the guests, they would just like show him, they'd put his name there, charter guest, and it would always be like an unflattering angle.
I know.
And I'm like, come on, this dude had a seizure on or
Yeah.
whatever it was on national television. Give him a break.
I get what you're saying.
Don't lead
too.
up to a medical emergency, you know?
I know.
So
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping. I actually am hoping they kind of I don't want to say I want them to breeze by it, but I think nobody wants that shown on national TV.
No.
So that's why I think, again, best case scenario is that he has a seizure disorder. He just wasn't feeling good. They know how to handle it, and he gets to enjoy the rest of the charter.
Yeah, I really hope he gets to stay on.
Yeah. Because that group of guys actually seemed really cool. Like, they seemed like they actually enjoyed each other, were having fun. They weren't too preoccupied with how they looked or whatever. Like, they just seemed to be there for a good time.
Yeah, I was a little worried when they walked up on the dock and the one guy had his collar up to his ears.
And you're like, oh no.
Like, jeez.
No. They seem fine.
Yeah, no, they seem pretty cool.
So yeah. That's how they ended with that happening. And really, we have no idea what's going to happen next week. I don't know if there's episodes next week because it's Labor Day. I don't see why they wouldn't, but
Yeah, they already got them recorded.
yeah. So that's all we got for you today. I hope that was entertaining because these episodes were like not super crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love doing this for you guys. Thank you so much for, again, like all the likes, subscribes. We are almost to 100 subscribers on YouTube, which doesn't seem like a lot, but we appreciate every single person and we'd love to get to 100.
Yeah.
The views are great. Like, again, the comments are great. I try to respond to most of them. It's sometimes hard to keep track. Yeah, so go follow us on TikTok and Instagram too. And yeah, just thanks for all the love. What do you have?
Pretty much everything you said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
everything is just growing very quickly. Everyone's been super positive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been fun. And if you guys want to talk to us. I mean, you love responding to comments. You get to them way before I do.
yeah.
But if you want to talk to me for some reason, just say, Lane, what do you think about this? And I'll probably have a horrible answer
Yeah,
for
be
you.
like, this is for Lane, not you, Morgan.
This is for Lane.
Oh
Can
my
you
God.
not be on camera?
We never introduce ourselves. I
Oh my
literally thought
God.
about that like 2 episodes ago. My name's Morgan. I know that like that's implied from our
Watching every episode.
right, but we are so bad at this. I can't believe so many of you are here because we're so bad at this. No, but we really should start with like, hi, I'm Morgan.
Hi, I'm Lane.
Morgan, Lane, brother, sister. We still really do need to do like a one-off episode of like just get to know us. We're siblings. I'm the older sister. He's the younger brother. And yeah, so we should start saying our names.
We should. I mean, just in general, yeah, because I mean, we did the first episode kind of explaining everything, but audio is horrible, video is not great.
Well, right. And then, yeah, like I don't expect people are hopefully going to keep finding this episode by episode.
Yeah, just
And-
to react to like, oh, I want to see what people are saying about this episode.
Right, exactly. So
Not the
I'm
whole
sorry. We
season.
need to be better at that. We need
Yeah,
to, if you have any opinions on that too, we'll take it. Be like, this is how you should introduce the show, and we'll
Yeah.
take it because we forget every week. So anyways, thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week.
see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.